Okay, I'm finally filming. It was a rough day, okay? I didn't want to film. There was...
Excuse me.
You are seriously having whiskey sour?
I am.
It looks like... What's that drink that makes you poop?
Metamucil?
Yeah, that's what that looks like.
And how do you know what it looks like, Kevin?
Well,
never mind. We'll move on.
and we got a new guy. Well, you're not new to me, but
Initiate the new guy.
yeah. It's Doug Ryan.
Have we told him about the rituals?
The story.
How's your middle bucel?
It's lovely. I struck the right balance of. Sometimes you can over lemon flavor it, and you're like, okay. All the next 2 days, you're doing the indigestion lemon flavor.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to get is my heartburn medication.
There you go. See?
Oh my God, we sound like old.
Yeah, really. Eh?
Oh, my back!
No, we are with a superstar paddler. Like this guy guides for Wanabate, the far north, and
I know. This guy's paddled places that we could only dream of.
yeah.
So.
And what stove did he bring?
Yeah.
Look
The
at
suitcase stove.
He brought the outfitter stove.
It's huge.
That's standard issue for Camp Wanapate.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh my Lord.
Don't leave home without it.
What are we doing here? What's going on? This is your trip. This is your idea. It was.
It was an offhanded comment a few years ago about clearing up that port. Well, it's an interesting. Well, I should actually be filming you because you're the guy that has all the specs on exactly what we're doing here. The fact that it is legal as opposed to an illegal operation that we're doing. We need to get you on camera explaining all this.
We will. That's a given that we're doing things proper. We have 2 people that work for the M&R with us.
Yeah, but you're talking. Don't ask me about. I mean, I'm just here,
Look, I saw your toolkit that you brought. Okay, so you're taking this trip very serious.
I take the tool part of it seriously. Yeah, and I'm prepared to slug it out here for the next couple of days. So
You've heard of Tim the Tool Man, right?
So we actually were here 2 years ago, you and I, but we came in from the other end. And
did we say 2 or was it 3? It was 2. You said.
I'm pretty sure 2 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
And tell the story. What happened? There was a lot of bear poop involved.
Well, we're trying to find this portage that connects this lake system, which is the part of the Noganosh Provincial Park, non-operating provincial park system, with Island Lake, which is in a conservation reserve. Established portages, fall into disuse and disrepair, I guess, where you can't find them. My understanding was that no longer qualifies then as a navigable waterway anymore. Like those 2 lake systems aren't connected because the portage is not maintained. That opens it up to other interests, maybe coming in and like, nobody's using that land. Maybe we can use it for nefarious industrial purposes or resource extraction or other such things. So it's in the interest of all paddlers to keep established portages, maintained, and therefore navigable waterways for outdoor recreation and, just keeping it a little more natural and accessible to paddlers and people that want to enjoy the great outdoors. That was, so when you mentioned that this portage was, well, we tried looking for it and got kiboshed, couldn't find. I mean, we eventually found the start of it and part of it, but could not track it all the way through.
Okay, we think we found the beginning. It's so full of ferns. Look. Well, you really can't see the trail, but on the rock outcrops, there's some rock cairns put there by someone. So that's an indicator. I don't know. Tim's more positive about it than I am. It's all doable to market and find it, but can other people do it and follow it and not get lost? I don't want to be responsible for that.
The idea was kind of, we should come back here sometime and clean up this Portage. And now, 2 years later, here we are.
And why did you choose June during the bug season?
That's a good question. Well, to be honest, we should have done this a lot earlier. We should have done this before all the green stuff grew up, because it's going to be even harder to find that Portage now. It would have been better to come here in May, but 2020 May will go down in the annals of history as a somewhat bizarre month, so we were not able to come out here. This is the earliest we could get out here. So we'll see what we're in store for, because it was tough finding what we found 2 years ago. You could barely find. It was there, but it was a lot of work to find the trail that we did find.
2 years ago, we went in from Island Kelsie Lake way.
Yeah.
And we're now going in from Noganosh Mud John Lake way, the other way.
Correct.
And what was with that? What happened? There were some issues before we left. We had to change plans.
Oh, well, you had mentioned that you were out last weekend and the water level was low. So you were concerned about, there's a creek. It's quite nice. It's a quite lovely padlock. It's a little meandering little section to get into Island Lake. Island Lake, right?
Yeah,
the bigger lake?
Farm Creek, yeah.
Farm Creek. You were concerned the water levels would be too low, and which makes sense. That would be tough to get through if there's not much water in it. And then Andy had some other business he was doing in Perry Sound, so this seemed like the better place to come in and try it from this side this time.
And it was a heat wave yesterday, and now you're wearing my jacket. Can you explain that?
Well, yeah, I was packing all my stuff. I was like, oh, it's June. I'll just bring a Wool Power light. I mean, I don't need to bring any other Wool Power. It's June. Try and keep your bag as light as you can.
Tim, you own a store, Canadian Outdoor Equipment. You have every piece of gear possible.
I was trying to pack light. It's like, oh, it's June. You don't need that much. You don't need that many clothes. And now I'm wishing I brought, I wish I brought a 400 jacket. I wish I brought a toque. You're wearing a toque because you flip that camera around. You're actually wearing a toque. This is like Nightmare on Gada Part 2 in June. So yes, I've had to borrow a jacket to keep...
I wouldn't say you borrowed it. You just took it.
You're such a liar. You're such a liar.
What do we have here? A white stout.
Is that a Father's Day gift?
Which it was. For my lovely son.
Nice.
Andy, that beats your Metamucil or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, but I got a lovely Father's Day gift from my son too. Pastel tie-dye Crocs.
Oh.
Really? Thanks, Sean.
Rich in coffee, chocolate flavors, subtle notes of caramel, and Irish cream.
Are you
And I can
getting all
taste
those
the Irish
flavors?
cream. I'm getting the Irish cream for sure.
Oh, you see what microbrewery that is?
Upper Thames.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I can't believe you brought that stove.
Yeah.
Has it been used yet?
I just, no. I started it up yesterday and made sure it ran. And
Ooh, look at that. And the best thing is you carried it.
yeah.
With worms. Oh.
Yeah, it will be.
Hey, how will I be here after dinner? Like, oh.
What do you have there? It's the latest product from Recreational Beer Works. Why do you ask, Kevin? Are you looking for a spoon?
What's going on?
You're abdicating? Yeah, abdicating your role
Or
as
just
a
ignoring.
dinner maker, yeah.
Abandoning.
So I'm too busy filming, guys. I can't cook dinner tonight. It's terrible. The new guy brought something.
Bend over.
Andy, sit down.
Oh, sorry.
So Doug, this is a pandemic, and we have certain rules at this camp. Like we actually did think about this before we headed out, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
He's actually putting it on.
The sound we all fear.
Yeah, at the doctor's office.
Yes, you're about to do a faux pas. We need to lay down Camp Etiquette 101. And Doug and Andy are going to back me up on this. And that rule is that whoever does the cooking of dinner does not do the cleanup. If you make dinner and cook it, as soon as we've eaten, your job's done, and then it's on your other campmates to handle the cleanup.
And the cook's job is to dirty every pot in the set. They do have a drying bag too if you want. I can hang it on the branch out there.
What? What? What's going on? He's giving us a tip. I've never heard that tip
Drying
before.
bag. I never even heard of that.
Put the camera on that, man.
Drying bag.
It's not so much for the pots, but for everything else.
What,
right?
like Mr. Guiding person? What's going on? You got a what?
Well, he guides above the tree line, so he gets this bag.
This is not so useful.
What is it?
Upper Towns Portage Indian Pale Ale.
Ooh, I've had that before. It's very good beer.
Is it good beer?
Yeah.
Favorite companion for long walks with a canoe. This classic take on the North American IPA has lots of bright citrus flavor, aroma from Ontario-grown Centennial and Cascade hops over a subtly malty background. Golden in color with a refreshing smooth bitterness.
How you doing, Doug?
I'm excellent.
Yeah. You feel like an explorer?
Yes, I do.
How you doing, Tim?
Good.
Yep.
That was quite the paddle here, though.
Yeah, long way.
You can press like the in and out keys, which are to zoom in and out.
You programmed in where that's supposed to start. That's pointing to.
Right now.
We got the
okay.
GPS out now. We've gone to technology now, as opposed to skill set. Man, it's a bugs. Beautiful little area.
Yeah, John Lakes looks nice.
Yeah. Oh. This looks like an obvious, very old trail, but so here, just a look. You're going to see the creek. I'm looking out to John Lake. You're going to see the creek to my left and the campsite to my right. So I'm pretty sure this is the entrance to the Portage. See? Yeah?
So far, look, there's flagging tape here.
Yeah.
There's a beer can there.
Oh, well, you've found a beer can.
Look straight up,
Yeah.
right?
Always a beer can will mark the Portage. Is it old or new?
It's new. It's not that old.
Is there any left?
Is there any left?
All right. Well, you want to go?
That looks like
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
I say we come here tomorrow and see
Okay.
where that gets us, okay?
Okay.
This is way better than what we were looking at.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, we're about to mark it. It's clear this way, see where it goes. And we found a beer can yesterday and a piece of flagging tape. That was the kicker. We got very excited. Doug's got the coordinates down. I'll put those up. GPS coordinates of this exact takeout. Assuming this is, we're still not sure if this is it actually. We're just assuming.
Promising.
Yeah. Whew. Okay. So far we've seen flagging tape up, or we've gone maybe 200 meters, maybe 150.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's full of ferns and undergrowth, and nobody's really used it. Even the moose poo has mold on it. So, but I think we're on the right track. Just the ferns hide it a lot. And that is why we all have a can of bear spray on our belts. Bear poop. A lot of bear poop. So this is where it gets confusing. This is where it got confusing when Tim and I went from the other end from Kelsie, and you get to these barren rocks, and yeah, you can't find a trail because it's on barren rock. Yeah, so we're marking small bushes here, and they're marking down there. Tim just came back from a side trail to check that out, and that's not the way.
Little piece right there.
But so far I think we're maybe 300 meters into, or maybe more than that, of the 2 kilometers, and yeah, it was a trail. Now it's sort of scattered. Okay, what do you think, Tim?
Well, I think this is going incredibly smooth at this point. I don't want to jinx anything, but
Yeah, I don't think you should have said that. So this is what I'm guessing. When Tim and I came from Kelsie, and it was not that clear. I mean, this is not that bad. This is really clear. Heck, there's a couple moose if you use, that's it. But it's a lot clearer than coming in from Kelsie. So I'm thinking the fishing lodge, Noganosh, has marked this to get to this pond that's halfway. And I'm just guessing there's a boat there so they can fish it. There's probably bass in there. That's my hypothesis. We'll see. Well, what do you think?
I think I'm extremely happy. That was completely painless getting here, and we've been from the other point to the other side of this. That'll be a little trickier, but
So this is, I think, what happened with Tim and I when we came from Kelsie. We kept on trying to portage around the side of this pond, and then we lost the portage. Well, there is no portage. People just paddle it. So it ends right here at this side, and there's a pond along there. Supposedly there's even a campsite out there. It's a pretty small pond though. And then you start portaging on the other end to get to Kelsie. So
you just have to hike over there and then find. Do you remember where on this lake the other?
This side, yeah.
Where we
it kind of just disappeared down a hill. Now we did just find a rough trail along the north side of the pond. Not as prominent as the other trail. So maybe some people don't paddle the pond. They actually portage along. Yeah, I'm just looking for that. But you know, if you got a canoe, you might as well paddle it. Mm-hmm. Well, since we don't have the canoe, we didn't bring the canoes over, we're going to walk along the side of the pond and see if we can hook up the other side, what Tim and I found in the previous trip. But yeah, I'd paddle that instead of walk along the shore. A lot easier. Oh, here's the old fire pit, the campsite. Okay, we're on the other side of the pond. We walked along the edge, came up here, but now we find a trail up top with cairns on it. I think that's the trail right there too. I bet you that trail is coming down to here. See there?
Yeah.
It's like a puzzle, Andy. Okay, now we're on the north side of the pond, but up in a ridge, and we found cairns and some blazes. So the portage does go up on the ridge on the north side to avoid the pond. You can still paddle it and come down here from. There's 3 rock cairns in a row up in a ridge, but no, more so on the Kelsie side of the center pond. Now we're gonna see if we can get to Kelsie. Deer flies out, pretty warm. Okay, this side is a lot. Okay, this side is a lot more. Oh, there's a blaze right there.
Oh, really? On the back of that tree?
Man. Okay, so just show you the side from Kelsie to the pond, how it's not used at all. There's old blazes, but it's all covered over. So look at this. Look at that. That's the trail right in front of me. And why I know that? It's because there's an old blaze there. And the guys are up there finding the other end. So this side, oh, bugs. This side is a lot more difficult to find. There's no specific trail at all. It's like a real puzzle. Oh, Tim found something else. Whew. So see this? This is the trail. Wow. Wouldn't be easy putting a canoe through here, I'll tell you that.
There's another blaze there. I didn't notice these blazes on the tree last time we were here.
No, maybe we didn't get this far then. Oh. What do you got, Tim?
Some fluorescent spray paint. We're gonna spruce up the blazes there.
Is this bring back to your youth?
Not really, no.
No, you didn't spray paint walls?
No, it wasn't sprayed. Oh, I see. Yeah, my delinquent youth. No.
A wee bit of that.
Okay, so we just crossed 2 beaver dams at a pond. They're on the south side of the pond. And I remember them from the last time we were here. There's cairns up on this hill here, the ridge, above the pond, but no markers, no blazes. So I'm assuming we're still on track. So I know I said it before, but from the pond to John Lake is well marked compared to from the ponds to Kelsie. Well, it's well marked now, we're marking it, but the trail is really hard to find itself, like the footpath. So there. Right, Tim?
Amen.
Right. Okay, we're not lost, we're just confused over whereabouts.
What do you think, Andy?
You got something there?
No.
Not really.
Okay, we're backtracking. We found blazes, but then we got to a ridge and couldn't find the trail again, and Tim and I couldn't even remember being in that area before when we came through. So we're backtracking to the beaver ponds, and we're thinking maybe we crossed the wrong beaver pond. I don't know. But there's whole blazes up into the clearing, and then completely disappears. Now you see things like this. Someone obviously cut that wood off there to clear it. I don't know. He thinks we might have to do another trip going the other way. What's going on?
Well, we're pulling the plug, unfortunately, to admit defeat from this side. But we're going to go back and get it from the other way on a later trip.
You just want to go on another trip.
No, I would actually prefer to see this thing through here, but it's getting late.
Yeah, I couldn't see a trail through there.
No, I don't want to go back to the same area and try and look again. We're pretty thorough.
Yeah. Does it have anything to do with the heat and the bugs?
The heat, yeah. I mean, the sun's out full now, and the pack's getting heavier as the day goes on.
And we're running out of water?
I am a little bit low. I am fairly low on water, you're right.
Am I making you feel better on your decision?
Yeah, very.
What's that?
Well, it's got a few different names. My supplier no longer manufactures them, unfortunately. So it's called a clearing axe, aka Sandvik, brush axe. There's a. You can check out CanadianOutdoorEquipment.com, and there's a great little video on this product. But anyways, for clearing stuff.
Thank you.
Now there's that one, or this is a cool one, and this is for getting lower down. It's got an angled head on it. It's like.
Oh, golf
club.
Yeah. Here, you want that one?
Yeah, I'm a golfer.
There you go.
Yeah. Not a very good golfer.
And I'll bring up the rear with a saw and trim any sharp edges.
Wow.
I don't want moose or deer impaling themselves.
No.
After we're done.
I just stepped in a fresh pile of bear dung. I have poo on my shoe. Okay, I'm just going to go over how we're doing the distancing thing for the pandemic. There's 4 of us. We live in separate areas. It was a perfect world. None of us were actually at home before we left, but we should have got tested before we went. Then we wouldn't be worrying so much. But so we were going to do solo boats. Glad we didn't, because the wind was really brutal the last 2 days. And we went tandem, but Andy's boat's 18 feet long, so I'm pretty sure you're past the 2 meters, Andy. A lot of hand sanitizer all the time, every time we haul gear and stuff like that. And we're also doing solo tents, and we're all doing separate filters and cookware and things like that. So it's all separate. The only time we're really close proximity is the bug shelter, which the way this wind is, we haven't really used it much. And it's a 10 by 10 shelter, so we're sitting on the corner, so we'll be fine. So there, it's all doable. And yeah, at least we're getting out. I'll show you the bug shelter. I wouldn't travel anywhere without this thing this time of year. Deer flies are bad once the wind dies, but anyway, there we go. There's 2 bug shelters from Eureka. One is detached, the old version. You detach the tarp, just use the tarp if you want, and then the mesh. I have that one, and this is the new version. It's all contained as one. And I don't know, yin and yang, back and forth, which one's better or not. So yeah, we put this up because we need the screen anyway. So this is the campsite, really nice campsite. They must be doing some maintenance in here, because some of these sites have been trashed in the past. I've been on this site before and it's been trashed. But there's new thunder boxes. Or not new, there's thunder boxes. There were never any thunder boxes. There's signs showing where they are. So this is a non-operating park. So it's a provincial park, non-operating. So basically it's Crown land. But if they're starting to clean up the area, then maybe they're going to start working on a management plan. So, which is good and bad. It does need some maintenance though.
Thank you, that's a good start.
What we really want to talk about is why we did this portage, and can we actually legally clean the portage and mark it. And I might be completely wrong, so someone tell me if I'm wrong, but what I've looked into it, yes we can, is an existing portage, and we did it good. Just make sure you do it proper, okay? And mark it proper. Why do we want to do this? Well, Tim is obsessed by this whole portage for the last 3 years, and he can't put it down. He's like, gotta do it, Kevin, we gotta do it. We couldn't do it last time, we gotta go back. But I think it's really important too, because this is the kicker, and hopefully maybe I can show a map here. But if that portage is opened, it's a two kilometer portage, but if you can do that, you can go from Wawagash or Naskut, or gosh, I forget the other access point along near just north of Parry Sound, or as Narrows or Fleming's Landing, and you can do an entire 7-day loop all through Pickle River, Noganosh, or Smoke, Noganosh. What have we camped on now? Lost Lake, John Lake, and then from John Lake to Kelsie, Kelsie to Island Lake, down Farm Creek to Wawagash, down the Minnetonka River, and then up through, I think it's called, I forget the name of the lakes there, but there's some portages that go back into Noganosh. So you can do a full loop, and the missing link is this bloody portage we've been trying to locate and mark. The question is, why are people not using it? Well, it's just over rock barrens. This is the Conservation Reserve area. I think it's called the Rock Barrens. So it's a unique area. I mean, in Noganosh and stuff, it's more like granite and pine, but here it's more like lowland and soft maple, cedar, whiskey. I'm burping whiskey. It's terrible. This is how bad the day was. I think I'm only going to have one whiskey. I know. So that's why we want to do that, because it would make an incredible canoe route in central Ontario. This area is just west of Algonquin Park. It is just north of Parry Sound. We're talking Ontario, Canada, and we're talking a living legacy park that's not really, doesn't have a management plan yet, but people are coming, and it'd be great to actually provide them more canoes. There's tons of routes here and tons of old portages that if you just clear them, it would be just a mecca. Did I get everything, Andy? Okay, can I go to bed now? It was tough. Well, we're heading back.
We are.
Last day.
Last day.
Push away the tears.
That was nice. It was beautiful, beautiful weather. Nice breeze, kept the bugs down, able to hang out and have a fire. I thought we'd be stuck in a bug shelter the whole time. Weather was great, weather was awesome. Bit of a headwind, but that was part of the fun. Might be in for a bit of a headwind on the way out too, but so it goes, right?
Right.
Can you explain to everybody how we're dealing with the pandemic? Because we're all doing our circle, but we are now stuck in a bug shelter together.
Well, what we've devised is to figure out which way the wind's going, which filters the air through the bug shelter, and is focusing it all on Tim. But Tim is fighting off any of our COVID viruses by smoking his pipe. So we've developed a strategy: stay distant, breathe on Tim, Tim fights it off. We're all good.
He's younger than us too.
And yes, he's younger and more capable to survive.